Welcome to Yaka Digital Network videos. Step into a village square during a wedding celebration, and you are stepping into a centuries-old musical engine. Hundreds of people move in precise harmony. Their clapping and stepping occurs with a collective accuracy that suggests an invisible driving pulse. For an outside observer, this appears to happen by magic. There is no conductor at the front of the square, no musicians reading from a page, and no obvious signal for the crowd to shift their movement. Because this music lacks Western notation, it is often categorized as a simple or primitive art form. A sophisticated mathematical acoustic system governs this entire environment, hidden behind the perceived informality of the celebration. To understand this performance, we must deconstruct its mechanics, from the physical materials sourced from the Ugandan ecosystem to the complex architecture of its rhythms. Decoding these rules establishes traditional music as a rigorous discipline of the performing arts, rather than a casual pastime. This sound begins with the landscape. Traditional Ugandan instruments function as direct acoustic extensions of the local environment. The hornbostel sax system provides the scientific framework for classifying these tools. It organizes instruments by their sound-producing mechanism, mapping the relationship between material and vibration. Membranophones produce sound through the vibration of a stretched membrane. These rely on locally sourced animal hides, tensioned over wooden frames, to create deep, resonant tones. The ngoma and the long ngalabi drums are primary examples. Their physical scale requires the performer to engage their entire body to maintain the beat. Chordophones generate sound through the tension of plucked or bowed strings. The adungu, a carved wooden harp, demonstrates this. Its design uses precise tension to amplify the vibrations of the strings into a melodic output. Aerophones involve air vibration. Performers force breath through hollowed channels crafted from the region's wood and reeds. This includes the ndere flute and these long wooden amakondere trumpets, which utilize natural hollows to trap and project air. Finally, idiophones, like the akogo thumb piano or shakers, use the rigid body of the instrument itself to produce vibration when struck or shaken. By playing these instruments, musicians literally vibrate the raw materials of the Ugandan land. This material connection creates a timbre that is uniquely and unreplicably tied to the local ecosystem. Beyond the physical instruments lies the invisible architecture they build, the rhythm. Western music typically follows a linear, fixed timeline. African traditional rhythms, however, are cyclical. They use repeating patterns to compound intensity over time. This digital timeline illustrates the mathematical engine of this sound, polyrhythm. This is the simultaneous layering of multiple independent rhythms. On the upper track, a master drummer's left hand might maintain a steady, repeating 3-beat pattern. Simultaneously, the right hand executes a separate 4-beat pattern on the lower track, occupying the exact same duration. Combined, these tracks create a hemiola, a 3-against-4 cross rhythm. The visual dots offset and intersect, forming a complex rhythmic web. This layering generates a structural acoustic tension because the beats never perfectly align. This tension requires constant improvisation. If a dancer changes their movement, the drummer must recalculate the polyrhythm in real time to match that shift in energy. This mathematical friction provides the constant drive necessary to sustain the performance and move the crowd. This comparison highlights why these dynamic rhythms cannot be easily captured in a standard musical score. While Western music is preserved through written scores, African music is an oral and oral tradition, passed down and maintained through memory. To manage this oral tradition across a group, performers use the call and response technique. Call and response acts as a conversational loop. A lead singer issues a musical call, which demands an immediate, synchronized response from the chorus. This structure removes the gap between performer and audience. Every person present is a necessary participant in the loop. These pieces are open and collectively owned. The music evolves dynamically based on the energy of the dancers and singers on the grass that day. Call and response creates a living communication network. If the audience remains silent and the response dies, the performance effectively ends. The village square celebration functions through the precise alignment of nature, mathematics, and community.
We have traced the instruments to their ecological roots, analyzed the mathematical tension of polyrhythms, and seen the participatory power of the call and response loop. For students aiming to fuse these sounds with modern genres, success depends on mastering these traditional rules from a place of respect. These acoustic systems remain a dynamic framework, serving as the heartbeat of Ugandan cultural identity. You can watch more videos for all classes here and get all content at www.yaka.cc.